Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Theory Thursdays. Thanks for joining us again. I'm your host, Max Wild, Ableton Certified Trainer, and do a lot of other things, produce music, and I also run 343 Labs. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here every Thursday for you guys. See, we've got some familiar faces. What's up, Andrew? Nice to see you. From Halifax, we've got Paul. Hey, Paul. Paul is one of our students. He's studying with John Selway. How are those lessons going, Paul? Actually, also from Canada, Paul. So we got two Canadians. Salvatore, what's up? From Rockaway Park, New York. And Scott Vincent, what's up? Nice to see you again. Scott is in Virginia. I'm not going to get it wrong this time. Who else is in the chat? Drop me a little. Let me know where you're calling or where you're watching from. Neoland is in the chat. What's up? Yeah, you know, I've got to say, one of the best things about. So I'm in Berlin. And one of the best things about being in Berlin is that when it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, or I guess that would be 10 a.m. Pacific time, it's actually 7 p.m. in Berlin. So that's, to me, that's like 1 o'clock time. So I'm going to just say cheers to you guys. One of the important things about playing music is that you know, you've got to be relaxed. So I'm sure you guys all know that. Jonathan's in the chat. What's up, Jonathan? From Bahrain. Wow, from the Middle East. That's so cool. And we got Neerland. He's in Argentina. That's so dope. 8 p.m. in Bar. Okay, Jonathan, you got to join me with that vino. Oh, Scott, now you're close. Okay, Connecticut. Cool. Again, today's episode is all about theory, but this is part of 343 TV. And for those of you joining for the first time, 343 TV is daily live streaming on music production topics by our instructors. Mondays, we have tips and tricks with dolltr, Ableton Certified Trainer, Bitwig Certified, Apple Certified. Tuesdays, we have our creative director, TAETRO, who has his own dope YouTube channel. He's also doing Beattober right now, so check him out on his channel, TAETRO. But he does TAETRO Talks on Tuesdays, where he brings artists, industry experts and chats with them on Tuesday nights or at 1 p.m. Wednesdays, we have Justin, aka Lewis Beck, with Hybrid Home Studios, showing you how he sets up his gear and gets it all, like his analog gear to talk with his digital gear and all that stuff. Thursdays is yours truly with theory. Friday is Abe Duque, so don't miss that. That's going to be tomorrow. And Saturday is, Abe's doing production basics. So if you're just getting started with production, that's your show. Abe is a veteran of electronic music production. He's been a DJ, a producer, a multi-instrumentalist, streamer. He wears many hats and he's super dope. So check out his show. Saturdays we have John Selway with Selway Techno Saturdays. So if you're into techno or not into techno, definitely check that out. He's a wizard at all things digital, analog, all that stuff. And Sunday we have a really dope show for you. This is once a month. We're really honored to have Ariel Barujo back with us for Mixing Monthly. And this Sunday, you definitely cannot miss this. It's going to be Ariel breaking down another track. He's done a couple streams with us in the past, and they were all really, really popular. So definitely don't miss that. That's going to be on Sunday, this Sunday. at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Berlin time. So yeah, cool. That's my little introduction. Also, we have giveaways. Okay, so thanks to all our sponsors, Arturia, Splice, Ableton, Sensel, Beatport, Bitwig. This week's giveaway. So every week we have a different giveaway by a different sponsor. This week is being sponsored by Arturia, really dope company that make really cool both hardware and software, and they've been really generous to us. This week's giveaway is the DX7V plugin. Emulating the DX7 synth. So if you want to get in on that, drop your name in the link that Thomas will be dropping in the chat. So Thomas should be dropping that link soon, and then we announce the winner on, I believe it'll be Saturday with John. Okay, cool. So let's get started. Today we are doing intervals. Okay, intervals. Andrew, yeah, I think I need another swig. So good. So today we're doing intervals. We're going to get deep into intervals. Intervals is one of the most important building blocks of music. They are the building blocks of music, okay? But I also wanted to say that if you have any music theory related question, please just drop it in the chat. I'm always open to any type of question. Right now I want everyone to let me know what your favorite interval is, okay? We're going to learn today that every interval sounds differently, okay? We're going to learn how many intervals there are, okay? How you count different intervals, the sound of every interval, the vibe, the mood of every interval, okay? Every interval has a different sound and vibe, and knowing what kind of a vibe an interval has will allow you to evoke a certain emotion in your music, okay? So I always think of intervals kind of like the alphabet, okay? Just like we need the letters of the alphabet to make words, well, guess what? We need intervals. They're like the smallest building block that we have in music. So we need intervals to make music, to express our musical ideas. Intervals are the basis of scales. They're the basis of chords. They're the basis of melodies, bass lines. So let's start with a definition of what an interval is. Very simply put, an interval is the distance between two notes. So if I head over to my keyboard, an interval could be or it could be, right? It could be really kind of large, it could be really small. Great. Now, let's start. How many intervals are there? And I'm just going to maybe change this to a piano sound, make it a bit more classical sounding. All right, so how many intervals are there? Well, there are 12 notes in the octave, right? This is a C, and this is a C. Let's move this up a bit. There's a C and a C, right? So now, an interval is the distance between two notes. So the first interval we have is called a half step, otherwise known as the minor second, and I'll explain why that's called a minor second. Then we have, that's the whole step. Okay, that's the second interval. The whole step is two half steps. So a half step is defined by just moving to the next note, be it a black key, a white key. If you move up like that, right, that's all half steps. That's actually the chromatic scale. All right. Did I ask you guys to already drop in the chat your favorite interval? Please drop in the chat your favorite interval. All right, so this is a whole step. Now we've got what's called a minor third. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3. 3 half steps is a minor third. By the way, you can play an interval both melodically, one at a time, that's a melodic interval, or harmonically. It's a harmonic interval. All right? Then we have the major third, which is 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have the perfect fifth, which is 5 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have the tritone, which is 6. The perfect fifth, which is 7 half steps. Minor sixth, which is 8 half steps. Major sixth, which is 9 half steps. Minor seventh, 10 half steps. Major seventh, 11 half steps. And the octave, which is 12 half steps, okay? So that's when we get back to the same note that we started on, 1 octave higher. All right, cool. Now, I guess let's first of all talk about the sound of every interval. Every interval has a very, very special sound. Sorry, I'm just checking something here real quick. Cool. So, let me actually go over here. No, I don't want that. Let's go back to that. Okay, so the minor second. The minor second sounds very dissonant. So if you want a dissonant sound or something that sounds kind of ominous, then go for the minor second. Okay, so let's see this in practice. I prepared a little something here. Let's see. I got this groove from last week. Okay, cool. Got that. So now, if you want to use the minor second, you got to go. You're gonna hear that a lot in trap, right? That's the minor second. Let's just record that and see what that looks like. So, cool. So where is the minor second? Here it is, right here. That's your half step, okay? Right away, you can hear that sound, right? It sounds very dissonant, kind of eerie, spooky, menacing. The best way to remember an interval is actually to remember a type of song that reminds you of it, right? So guess what? They use that interval in Jaws, okay? So whenever you hear the theme song of Jaws, right? That's just Jaws, right? Straight up Jaws. And guess why they use that theme in Jaws? Because the shark was coming and he's about to kill everyone. So every interval is gonna create a feeling, and if you can associate a feeling with an interval, it'll help you number one, remember the interval, but also use that interval in your music to create that feeling. Cool. So that's the minor second. Let's see what you guys wrote for your perfect interval. I mean, your favorite interval. So Neoland's saying, first, is a minor seventh. Okay, Neoland, can you explain why? I do like the minor seventh. Very jazzy. Don't know if it's my favorite, but I think it's cool. Okay. Scott is saying the perfect fifth. Yeah, perfect fifth is a great interval. I love the perfect fifth. Perfect fifth reminds me of Star Wars. Right? Who doesn't love Star Wars? I know TAETRO likes Star Wars, because his wall is full of Star Wars. Also, guys, if you are not already subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button below, and hit the bell key so that you will be notified when we go live. We really appreciate your support. So yeah, if you want to keep up with our content, please subscribe. Let's go for the next interval now. Next interval sounds like this. There's the minor second. All right, so I actually think of that. I think of Happy Birthday when I hear that. All right, on that note, no pun intended, I'll have another sip of wine. All right, so that interval to me also sounds dissonant, right? But it doesn't sound like the minor second. So let's see if I can make a melody with that. Again, here was my minor second. Now let's go for something else. You know what? I'm gonna go for a different instrument. The other thing is that every interval has a different feeling, you would want to pick different sounds because every sound has a different feeling as well. So you want to match the feeling, sorry, the interval with the sound. So let's get a piano going maybe. You know what? I'm going to use a bass for this. How about that? I'm feeling the bass. How about that? Record that. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to, let's see if I can play a minor second. So this is my half step, and this is my whole step. Let's see if I can play those together. Here it looks like I'm in the key of like some type of C. So I think I'll move these down. I'll still keep the whole step, but let me move these down. Turn that up a bit. All right, let's play this all together. Let's see what happens. Kind of works. Cool, I like that. So what you have here, you've got a whole step in the bass line, which isn't quite as dissonant, right? But it accents the C, right? It kind of pushes towards the C, it leads into the C, and then this melody is clearly kind of in the key of C, but it has that dissonant sound. Cool. So now I already have two intervals. I've got the minor second, or the half step. Oh, definitely been drinking too much wine already. I can't spell. Half step, and then I've got the whole step. Okay, cool. Let's move on. So we're gonna move on to the minor third. So the minor third is this. Can you see it? Looks like this on the piano. So the song that I think of when I hear this minor third, that's three half steps, 1, 2, 3. I think of Greensleeves. Right? So the minor third is that's your sad interval, right? The minor third is your sad interval. It's like the melancholy dark interval, right? Whereas the major third, which is 4 half steps, that's the happy, uplifting, bright interval. So, in fact, the minor third that's what makes a key minor. It's the third, right? The third is what makes it either major or minor. Alright, so let's come up with a song or kind of a melody that will kind of go with that minor third. So I'm going to go back to my lead sound. So it doesn't sound as like creepy or ominous. It sounds more just sad, right? You know, I don't know if I want to use the piano or the I could use the piano, why not? Where's my beat? Alright, I gotta stop these two then, it's not gonna work all together. That sounds good. Let's give that a try. What's this? Nothing. Cool. And there is our minor third. All right. Now something else. Neerland, he likes the tension. Thanks, Neerland. Yeah, I guess you are referring to the minor seventh. Yeah, the minor seventh does have a lot of nice tension. We'll get to that. But this minor third here, 3 half steps, definitely sounds very kind of melancholy. And actually, while we get into it, we've got a major third from this interval. Sorry, from this note, D sharp to G. That's a major third, which is 4 half steps. And these 3 together form a minor triad, right? A triad is 3 notes, and if you play those 3 notes together or in succession, you have a minor triad. And it sounds minor, so I'm actually just going to play those 3 notes over and over again. So that is your minor third, lowercase m3. If I wanted to change the vibe to something more uplifting, all I need to do is I need to move the middle note, which is the D sharp, up a half step. So now we have 4 half steps and 3 half steps. Alright, so that definitely changed the vibe a lot. What song do I think of when I think of that? I think of Oh When the Saints. Right? There you go. That is your Oh When the Saints. By the way, guys, if you guys have any song names for specific intervals, drop them in the chat. I'm always looking for great song names for kind of recognizing intervals. Cool. Let's move on. We've got the perfect fourth coming up. Perfect fourth. So perfect fourth is this. Five half steps. I think of the Bridal March. All right. There's a lot of songs. The perfect fourth is, it's a very clean, strong interval, right? Actually, if you look back to our kind of our half step melody here, it had a perfect fourth in it. So right here. Nope, sorry, not there. What I'm thinking of, I guess if you go from the C, that would be a perfect fourth, right? That's 5 half steps. But this kind of disrupts that. All right, let's come up with a melody with a perfect fourth. I might have. You know what? Let me get a different sample in here. Like a housey beat or something. There we go. Something like that. That's gonna be more of a vibe that I would feel for the perfect fourth. So let's throw that in. Warp it real quick. 126, okay. And see what that sounds like. Alright, let's loop that. Trying to come up with something cool. We'll laugh. Okay, we can maybe play chords. It's got a very particular sound, the perfect chord. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a demonstration. There we go. That is plenty of perfect fourths. This song is not going to get me a Grammy, I don't think. Although that would be nice. Quantize to 16ths. Alright, let's add some chords to that. Duplicate that. So this is the perfect fourth. P4. There we go. Why not? Why not? There we go. Can we do a bass line with per fourth? I feel like basses play perfect fourths a lot. All right, so that's the perfect fourth. Let's see how we're doing here. All right, if you haven't entered the giveaway, now's your chance. Drop your. I see that Thomas entered the link, so put your name in the hat, and you'll be entered for the giveaway. Also, we have lots of classes coming up. So those of you that don't know, 343 Labs is a music production school. We're in Berlin, New York City, and online, and we have a lot of different classes in Ableton Live, Logic Pro, mixing and mastering, composition and arrangement, synthesis, vocal production, all that stuff. So head over to 343labs.com for the New York and online classes, or 343labs.de for the Berlin classes, and you can check out what we have. Let's keep moving. The next song, interval we're going to check out is the tritone, all right, which is 6 half steps. So let's listen to that on the piano. There we go. Now, funny story, but back in the day, the tritone was actually not a very popular interval. because it was very dissonant, right? And guess what? So if you played that interval back in like the medieval times, or you know, back when music was really only played in church, well, guess what? You were probably going to be, I don't know, beheaded or something bad done to you, because the. So I'll just show you what that looks like. This is six half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you go up another 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go back. You come back to the original C, and then you just keep going. So you have this pattern, which is like 6 half steps, 6 half steps, 6 half steps. So this is also known as the devil's interval. All right. Now, the song that I like to think of is the Simpsons theme song, which is which goes like this. Right? The Simpsons, or the theme song itself. Sorry, how does it go? Right? So it's got that like cheeky, that cheeky vibe to it, which is like kind of dissonant, but you know, not fitting in the box, kind of playful. That's the tritone, or it's also known as the diminished fifth, because it's actually a half step. So if you take a look, actually let's take a look here. So there's our perfect fifth, and if you go down a half step, it's called a diminished fifth, right? It could also be called an augmented fourth. So here's our fourth, and here's our augmented fourth. An augmented interval is a half step above a perfect interval or a major interval. And we'll talk about the namings of the intervals in a second. But let's try to make a kind of song or melody with that interval. So actually, right there, that is 6 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is where you have your tritone. Let's see if we can come up with a different melody that is also incorporating a tritone. You can also go down. That's fine too. And that's actually kind of similar, but it works. How low can I go? Check this out. Cool, so there you have your tritone. 6 half steps. I wonder what that would sound like with the minor second. Let's see if we can play both at the same time. To do that, I think I'll move this over to the bass. Let's look at some crazy glide on there. Let's see if I can turn that off a bit. I don't know. Really? Where's that glide coming from? Alright, it's fine. Let's play those together then. This is the tritone. Tritone. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's find out. I think it's too much. I think you need to use either or. Can't have both. I think I would usually I would keep it as a lead. There we go. Maybe put a pad on top. You could put that. That's a perfect fourth. How about up here? Even higher? Yeah, I like that. I like that mysterious, like, spooky high sound. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a perfect fourth. Check it out. Where is it though? There it is. Perfect fourth. So you can combine intervals. Perfect fourth is 5 half steps. Oh, cool. Salvatore just mentioned the blue notes. That is totally it. I should mention that the tritone does have that. If you watched last week's stream when I was talking about the blues scale and the pentatonic scale, you'll know that the blues scale is this. This is the C minor pentatonic. Where are we? A little higher up. We go down. Let me actually play it on the piano. It sounds better. So blues scale. Here we go. This is a C minor pentatonic. Has 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we add the blue note, there's the tritone. 6 half steps. Right, there's your tritone. Cool. Thanks, Salvatore. That's a great example. Next interval is gonna be, what's it gonna be? It's gonna be the perfect fifth. Cool. It's gonna be that really clean sound. So let's see. Let me go with the housey beat again. So this is probably the #1 interval to use on a bass line. So I'm going to use it on the bass. Oh, you know what? Let me just beef that up a bit. because who was talking about the minor seventh? That was Neoland, liking the minor seventh. I'm gonna use the perfect fifth and the minor seventh. So it's too high. See what I recorded there. Alright, cool. So that right here. Just crop that. And that is... Oh, I don't want triplets, sorry. Check that out. So we have a perfect fifth. Alright, 7 half steps. And then here, that is the minor seventh. So from G, if I was to take this out, so this gives me that like kind of dissonant, jazzy sound, right? And whereas this gives me more of a clean sound. And I could, if I added a piano to that, let's do that. And you know what? Also, very important is that, let's say I do add a piano to that. So here we go. You know what? How about we do it on a pad? That would be dope. Alright, cool. Now, as you can hear, this perfect fifth gives us a very open sound. It doesn't really tell us if we're major or minor. Now, here's what we need to do to make it either major or minor. We need to add that third, and we can either go to the minor third. Oh. So let's go to the minor third. This is going to give us the minor sound, the kind of darker sound. There's the minor third. If I move that up, I've got the major third, which is going to sound happy, which I don't know if I want for this type of vibe. So just the combination of the intervals really, really changes the way that we hear that particular melody or chord or, you know, the song that we're making. So just bear that in mind. Intervals are super powerful. All right, we're coming to the end. I wanted to, well, not to the end, we still have 10 minutes. I wanted to explain why, you know, people say, well, I've got a perfect fifth, which is 7 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 half steps, but why is it called a perfect fifth? Okay, so the reason it's called a perfect fifth, and I'll just move over to the piano, is you've got your perfect fifth, And the reason it's a perfect fifth is because it's the fifth note of the scale. All right, so here's C major. You would make the first note that you play the beginning of a major scale, and then you just count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the fifth note of the scale, so it's called the perfect fifth, right? So there are 3 intervals, actually 4 intervals that are perfect intervals, which are the perfect fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, the perfect fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the octave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, called the perfect 8, and then also the perfect 1, which is if you have 2 pianos and both playing C, that would be a perfect 1. These are the perfect intervals. Now, that's also why a fourth has 5 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's called a perfect fourth because it's the fourth note of the scale, right? So you've got to distinguish between counting half steps, which are not in the major scale, they're not scale steps in the major scale, or are you counting scale steps? And the name of the interval always comes from the scale step, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect fourth. Now, the second, third, sixth, and seventh are all going to be major or minor. And this second is a major second because it is the second note of the major scale. All right. Now this is a major third, even though it has 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is called a major third. All right, third note of the major scale. The major sixth has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 half steps, but it's called the major sixth because it's the sixth note of the major scale. Then we have the major seventh note of the major scale, which has 11 half steps. Now, when you take one of these major intervals and you lower it by a half step, it becomes minor. For the majors, it becomes minor. So a major seventh becomes minor seventh. Major sixth becomes a minor sixth. Major third becomes a minor third. Major second becomes a minor second. But for the perfect intervals, like a perfect fifth, that becomes diminished. So there's your diminished fifth. All right. So if that was a lot of information, just to kind of put it in perspective, I've been studying music theory for a very long time, probably since I started playing an instrument, which, I started playing the saxophone. That was my first instrument when I was 12, and I basically started learning music theory then. And it's an ongoing thing, and it's, as you practice it more, it gets better and better, and the more comfortable you feel with it. So don't feel bad about not getting it the right way. If you really want to kind of learn even more about this, I would recommend checking out our music composition and arrangement course, which teaches you all this music theory, even in deeper, in more detail. So I encourage you to come and check out one of these courses, just at 343labs.com. We do them online and we do them in person, and I actually just finished teaching one of these courses in Berlin, and our students were really happy, and they also wrote some really cool tracks as their final project. So that, I think, is it. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. The major chord sounds like Finger Boys. If anyone knows them from the 90s. I don't. But I'm going to look them up, Jonathan, so thanks for sharing. Just a couple more intervals before we wrap up. Let me just cover the last couple ones. Let's go back to our kind of trappy beat here. So I think we ended at the fifth. perfect fifth, right? So let us over here. We got perfect fifth. Now the minor sixth is the next one, which is 8 half steps. Minor sixth. I think of that song, the theme from Love Story. See if we can get that in there somehow. I guess I'll have to play it fast. Oh, I messed that up. Okay, whatever. Let's just leave the first 2 bars. I could do something over that, right? I mean, it's a cool little beat. Let's quantize that a bit. Yeah, maybe I would continue it. Anyway, that's the minor 6. It kind of gives you a sad vibe. And Scott, you're welcome. I'm glad that you like my explanations. I've been teaching music theory for a long time, so I know there's a lot of like information out there, and a lot to learn, quite frankly, and it does really help if it's broken down correctly so that you can understand it. Now let's change that minor sixth to a major sixth, and it changes the vibe completely. Or all of a sudden, the broken heart of Love Story is fixed, and they live happily ever after. So also think of the theme from NBC, right? Think of that. All right, we've got 3 more intervals to go, and then we're done. So we got the minor 7th. Minor 7th. Wait, what song do I think of when I think of that? Well, you could think of the dominant 7th chord. Where am I? There's my minor 7th. Right? There's that song by Herbie Hancock called Watermelon Man. Otherwise, there's West Side Story. There's a place for us. Let me see if I can make a melody with that, with my lead sound. I'm digging. Most of these, I've noticed that most of these streams, I just dig myself into a hole, and which I have a hard time getting out of. But I think it's good practice. That's a cool bass line. Let me try that. So there's my minor seventh there. Got 10 half steps. Let's see how that would sound with one of these other sounds. Sounds cool. So you can combine intervals, and that sounds good too. All right, we got the major seventh now, which is this interval right here. It's 11 half steps, really big interval. Right? The major seventh sounds like it wants to resolve. I always think of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So, actually the major seventh is an inversion of the minor second. That's a C and a B. If you put that B down an octave, you have the same interval, but it's a minor second. So a minor second and a major seventh are related. They're just inversions of each other. And so you have the same type of tension there. Alright, so let's see if we can make a melody with that. Lead. Tough, right? Why not? Yeah, why not? We need the beat. There's our major seventh. 11 half steps. Now check it out. See what happens if I put these notes down an octave to get that minor second. So half step. Very similar, right? So I think I prefer the major seventh. I get that like really wide sound. What happens if I take it up an octave? Cool. So that is the major seventh. And finally we have the octave, which is this. And I just think of Over the Rainbow. And you can do great bass lines with that, for sure. That would be a classic. Let's do a house beat on that. Here we go. Let's move that note down. And here you have the octave. Let's see, legato. Oh, here we go. Let's not do legato. There we go. That would actually sound good on, also if I did, if I add the lead here to it. That's not going to work so well because I've got the B, yeah, I've got a B flat. Let's see, what about if I use the half step? Play this beat, and let's bring this down to a different note. Take out a couple of these notes. This is longer. All right, that is your octave, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna leave it there, and with a a basic understanding of intervals. So if you took one thing away from this, just remember an interval is the distance between two notes, and every interval has a different color. And that color is something that you can bring into your track to evoke an emotion, a feeling, a mood, because that's what music is all about, is creating feelings and moods and vibes. So I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, let me know. You can also, always connect with me on email, max@343labs.com. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe right now, right below, and hit the bell key so that you're notified. The giveaway is going to be announced on Saturday, and that's the Arturia DX7V plugin, which emulates the DX7 hardware synth. Classic synthesizer. And what else did I forget? Please tune in on Sunday. We've got a very special show with Ariel Barujo, Grammy Award-winning mix engineer. It's going to be really amazing. He's going to be analyzing and tearing apart one of his, or showing you rather, one of his mixes. Roller 8, thank you for being here, Salvatore. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Jonathan, Scott, all of you. Thank you for being here. Once again, my name is Max Wild, your host for Theory Thursdays, and I'll see you next week.